So, you've learned to code, you've built a pretty solid resume, and you're ready to start applying for jobs. But here's the thing about 2025, the game has changed. A resume listing your skills just isn't cutting it anymore. It's like telling someone you can cook a great meal versus actually serving them one. Recruiters and hiring managers are getting thousands of applications, and what they're really looking for is proof. They want to see what you can actually build, how you solve problems, and how you think like a developer. Your resume is the entry ticket, but your projects are the main event. This is where the real work begins, and honestly, it's the most exciting part. Building real-world projects is how you bridge the gap between theory and application. It's your chance to move beyond simple tutorials and create something tangible, something that solves a real problem or provides real value. These projects become your portfolio, your digital handshake that says, I don't just know these technologies, I've used them to create something functional and thoughtful. This is what separates the candidates who get an interview from the ones who get lost in the pile. It shows initiative, passion, and a genuine understanding of the craft. That's what this video is all about. We're going to go beyond the basic to-do list app. I want to give you a list of projects that are not only impressive but also incredibly relevant to the skills companies are hiring for right now. These are projects that demonstrate a wide range of abilities, from front-end design to complex back-end logic and even AI integration. In this video, I'll share 10 powerful coding projects that can actually help you land your dream tech job, even if you're self-taught. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, and this one is non-negotiable, a personal portfolio website. But I'm not just talking about a static single page. Think of this as your digital headquarters. It needs to be clean, professional, and easy to navigate. The key sections are an About Me that tells your story, a link to your downloadable resume, a dedicated project section with live demos, and an easy-to-find contact form. This is your first impression, so the design and user experience have to be on point. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. But here's the pro-level edition, a blog. Integrating a blog, maybe using something simple like Markdown for your posts, is a game changer. It does two things. First, it gives you a platform to talk about what you're learning, challenges you've overcome in your projects, or your thoughts on new technologies. This demonstrates your passion and communication skills. Second, from a technical standpoint, it shows you can build a content management system, handle routing, and dynamically render content. It's a simple feature that adds a huge amount of depth and personality, telling recruiters not just what you can do but who you are as a developer. Next, let's build something that handles money. An e-commerce website is a classic, but for a good reason. It's a direct simulation of a real-world business application. You don't need to build the next Amazon, just a small focused store for a niche product, maybe custom keycaps or digital art, or whatever you're into. The core features you need to nail are product listings with clear images and descriptions, a shopping cart that updates dynamically as you add or remove items, and a persistent state so the cart doesn't empty when you refresh the page. This is a great test of your state management skills. The real challenge, and the part that hiring managers love to see, is the checkout process. This means building a multi-step form for shipping information and crucially integrating a real payment gateway. Using something like Stripe or PayPal's API is an industry-standard skill. When you successfully implement this, you're proving you can handle secure transactions, manage sensitive user data, and work with third-party services. It shows you can be trusted with the core logic that actually drives a business, and that's a massive plus for any full-stack or back-end role. AI is everywhere. And showing you can work with it is no longer a bonus, it's becoming a baseline expectation. Building an AI-powered chatbot is an excellent way to demonstrate this skill. You can frame it as a customer support bot for a fictional company or a tool to answer frequently asked questions about one of your other projects. The goal is to create a seamless conversational interface where a user can type a question in natural language and get a helpful, coherent response back. This immediately puts you in the conversation for modern, forward-thinking roles. The tech behind this is more accessible than you think. You can leverage powerful models like the OpenAI API or Google's Gemini. The project involves building a simple chat interface on the front end, setting up a back-end server to securely handle API calls to the AI service, and then managing the conversation flow. You can even add features like conversation history. This project proves you're not intimidated by new technologies, you understand how to work with APIs, and you can build applications that are intelligent and interactive. It's a project that feels very 2025. Data is the new oil, and companies are desperate for developers who can help them make sense of it. A data visualization dashboard is the perfect project to showcase these skills. The idea is to take a dataset, it could be anything from real-time stock market data, COVID-19 statistics or user analytics from a fictional app, and present it in a clean, interactive, and easily digestible way. Think dynamic charts, graphs, and maps that update in real time or allow the user to filter and sort the information. This is honestly a front-end developer's dream project. You'll be using libraries like d3.js, chart.js, or recharts to bring the data to life. The key is to focus on both the technical implementation and the user experience. How do you make complex data understandable at a glance? Can the user drill down for more details? Building a dashboard like this shows you can handle fetching data from APIs, managing application state, and most importantly, you have a strong eye for design and data storytelling. For any role that touches data analysis, business intelligence, or front-end development, this project is a home run. This next project is a bit meta, but it's incredibly clever and directly relevant to the hiring process itself. Build a resume parser application. This is a tool where a user, like a recruiter, can upload a resume as a PDF file, and your application will automatically scan the document and extract key information. It should be able to identify and pull out the candidate's name, email, phone number, key skills listed, and maybe even their work experience and education history. This extracted data can then be displayed in a structured, easy-to-read format. This project is a fantastic way to stand out, especially if you're interested in roles involving automation, machine learning, or HR tech. It demonstrates your ability to work with file uploads, process unstructured data, and use libraries for text extraction and pattern recognition, like regular expressions. You could even take it a step further and use a simple natural language processing model to better categorize skills. It's a project that solves a real-world problem for the very people you want to impress recruiters. It shows you think creatively and can build practical, efficient tools. If you want to prove your full-stack capabilities, building a real-time chat application is one of the best ways to do it. This is a step up from a simple CRUD app because it involves managing live, persistent connections between multiple users. Think of a simplified version of Slack or Discord. The essential features include a secure user authentication system, so people have to log in, the ability to create or join different chat rooms, and of course the real-time sending and receiving of messages. Everyone in the room should see a new message the instant it's sent. To make it really polished, you should add features that users expect from a modern chat app, like typing indicators that show when another user is writing a message, and maybe even online status indicators. This project requires you to work with WebSockets, which is a key technology for any real-time system. You'll need a solid back-end to handle the connections and broadcast messages, and a responsive front-end to display the conversation. Successfully building this demonstrates a deep understanding of both client-side and server-side development, authentication, and state management in a complex, interactive environment. Sometimes a simple and well-executed project can be just as impressive as a complex one. A weather app is a perfect example. While it might sound like a beginner project, you can add layers of professionalism that really make it shine. The core idea is to build an app that shows the current weather conditions and a forecast for the coming days. The interface should be clean, intuitive, and visually appealing. Think about how you can use icons and colors to represent different weather conditions like sunny, cloudy, or rainy. The key feature that elevates this project is auto-detecting the user's location. When the app loads, it should ask for permission to access the user's location and then automatically fetch the weather for their current city using the browser's geolocation API. Then you'll use that location data to make a call to a free weather API, like OpenWeatherMap. This project is fantastic for demonstrating your ability to work with multiple external APIs, handle asynchronous JavaScript operations since you're waiting for responses, and manage user permissions gracefully. It's a small package that packs a big punch in demonstrating fundamental modern web dev skills. Here's another project that's practical and really showcases your ability to handle logic and data, an expense tracker. This is a tool that helps users manage their personal finances. At its core, it's a full CRUD, create, read, update, delete, application. Users should be able to log in, add their income, and then add individual expenses. Each expense should have a description, an amount, a date, and importantly, a category like food, transport, or entertainment. This categorization is key for the next step. Once the data is in the system, the real value comes from how you present it back to the user. You should build a dashboard that shows their monthly balance, total income minus total expenses. The killer feature is to include charts and graphs that visualize their spending. A pie chart showing the breakdown of expenses by category is a classic and effective choice. This demonstrates not only your ability to build a full-stack application with user authentication and database management, but also your skill in data manipulation and front-end visualization. It's a complete package that shows you can build a useful, data-driven tool from start to finish. Let's circle back to AI with a project that's incredibly relevant in the edtech space. Build an AI-powered study tool. The concept is simple, but honestly pretty powerful. A user can paste a large block of text, like an article, a chapter from a textbook, or their own study notes, into your application. Then, with the click of a button, your tool uses an AI model to process that text and generate useful study materials. This could be a concise summary of the content, a list of key takeaways, or even a set of potential quiz questions based on the text. This project is in high demand because it taps directly into the AI and education technology boom. You'll again be using an API like OpenAI or Gemini, but this time you'll be focusing on prompt engineering, crafting the perfect instructions for the AI to get the desired output, like summarize this text in 3 bullet points, or generate 5 multiple-choice questions from this content. It shows you can build a product with a clear value proposition and integrate sophisticated AI features to solve a user's problem. It's a project that feels futuristic and immediately signals that you're working with cutting-edge tech. Finally, for our 10th project, let's build something that, honestly, every single person in the job market can relate to: a job application tracker. This tool helps users stay organized during their job search. It's another excellent example of a full-stack CRUD application, but one that shows a deep sense of empathy for the user. A user should be able to log in and add each job they've applied for, tracking key details for each application. This includes the company name, the job title, the date they applied, and the current status. The status field is the most important part. You should let users update the status of each application with options like applied, interviewing, offer, or rejected. You could add features like a field for notes, a link to the job description, or a reminder for follow-up dates. This project demonstrates all the essential full-stack skills: user authentication, database design, and creating a clean interface to manage data. But more than that, it shows you can identify a real pain point and build a thoughtful, organized solution for it. It's a practical tool that recruiters will instantly understand and appreciate. So there you have it. 10 project ideas that go way beyond the basics and are designed to get you noticed in 2025. Remember, the goal here isn't just to finish the project, it's about the entire process. Each one of these is an opportunity to learn, to solve problems, and to create something you're genuinely proud of. Picking 1 or 2 of these and executing them really well will be far more impactful than trying to build all 10. The quality of your work and the thought you put into it is what will ultimately make the difference and tell a compelling story to anyone looking at your portfolio. Now here's the final crucial piece of advice. Don't just build projects, host them, share on GitHub, and write short case studies. A live working demo is 1,000 times more powerful than a folder of code. Push your code to a public GitHub repository with a clean README file explaining the project. And for your portfolio, write a short case study for each project. Describe the problem you were solving, the technologies you used, and the challenges you overcame. That's how recruiters will trust your skills and see your thought process, which is just as important as the final product. Building is the best way to learn, and honestly, the only way to prove you're ready for the job. So, take these ideas, make them your own, and start creating. I'm genuinely excited to see what you all come up with. Let me know what you think. Comment below which project you'll start today. like this video, and subscribe if you're serious about landing your dream tech job in 2025. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.